Hi, Susie from Pink Diamond Guide. How is everybody? I want to do a reading. We've got Mars going direct in Gemini. Now, it's been sitting retrograde for a little while, and that Mars in retrograde energy really was challenging, bringing on a bit of a fight energy, a bit of a rupture, and I certainly wasn't immune from that rupture energy. But now we've got Mars going direct, and I want to have a look at it from the aspects of the zodiac. So I'm going to start with Cancer. Let's have a look at the aspect of Cancer with Mars direct in Gemini. Now that energy, like, it ticks over from about the 13th of January, but it really probably won't sort of have its major effect. It'll whoops, I'll turn that off before we really get started. I forget these things, don't I? Righto. It the energy of Mars direct will probably take a few days to really sort of motor up, but what we're looking for under this Mars energy is a true settling down of energy. We're looking for plans and ideas to come together, and the other energy that I love about it is missing information returns. Now that's really an interesting energy, and going last year from about October onwards we had plenty of disruption, right? And then we had Saturn go direct at the end of October, which is the headmaster came back into the room. So the headmaster's marked the exam and he's gone, well, this is the information that's missing. And now we're going to have a look at putting that information together into a story and go, what information that was missing is coming back online. This energy is going to sit with us until about the end of March, alongside with all the other different aspects that we've got going on. Let's look at it from the aspect of Cancer and get ourselves a reading. Here we go. We'll do a couple of different layers and see what we can discover. Five of Wands. There's a friction energy, right? Then we've got the Nine of Pentacles. We've got the Three of Pentacles. We've got the Strength card. We've got the Five of Cups. And we've got the Four of Swords. I was going, where is this reading headed, Cancer? We've had some beautiful blessing readings come out around you lately. I'm going, where is this headed? But the likely outcome on this one, look, we've got the Four of Swords, which is the healing card. So this is kind of what I was talking about. The lead up to this reading is going, all of the drama that we've been through, it's going to take a little minute to settle, which is kind of what I was saying. But then the likely outcome is we move into some truly settling energy. So Five of Wands, look, it is a friction energy. It is an energy that, has a level of, it is a level of fight, and it could be like petty arguments energy as well. It's interesting that it comes through as the push from the energy, because as energy starts to settle, like, the major issues become more minor. Like, this is not a Tower card. This is not, I'm going to knock your world over and make you readjust, shift, change everything that you've got going on. But what I'm kind of suggesting is, as Mars goes direct into Gemini, anything that still remains as a bit of a friction point is, like, you need to have that rub in order to get to the solution of it. Friction sometimes creates a fire, and maybe the fire is what needs to be lit. So there's still some friction in your energy, Cancer, and by design. I don't know if I mentioned it in your reading last time, but I've just ordered a book. It just arrived yesterday, and I'm a Cancer, so these energies are particularly relevant. I'm sitting here listening to my own reading, going, "What's coming up?" But I just ordered a book called The Courage to Be Disliked. And I haven't read it yet. It just arrived yesterday, but I'm really, really curious about the title, because as a Cancerian, we're generally peacemakers, and we've just had that Cancer full moon where it is all about making peace and saying sorry and being forgiving. And then we're coming out of that. Mars goes direct in Gemini, and it says what friction remains at the end of that idea, and what do you need to know in order for you to move forward in a peaceful way? Where's the missing piece of information that you need? So Spirit's going, I'm going to let that friction, or that stuck energy sit for a little bit, and it's not a major fight. This is Five of Wands. The way I'm reading this energy, it's more well, that's still a little disagreement that I need to resolve. But as that Mars energy gets more traction, It'll take a couple of days to really gain momentum for sure, but the ideal is that you work through these friction points and come to some ideals of harmony. Now, what you've got going on here, and it's kind of why I brought up the title of this book, is that the Nine of Pentacles is about a strong, independent energy. So, it does have a feminine feel to it, and it is known kind of as pre-empress energy in going to have the nine. The only thing missing is the 10. And I'm going, what is it in that Nine of Pentacles that is causing you or giving you some level of courage to be disliked, to be able to go, yeah, look, it's really good that this is coming my way and it's showing up in this particular pattern, but here's where I have some friction against that, and here's where I need it to evolve. You're not afraid to say what you want at this point in time, Cancer. And this Nine of Pentacles energies, it's a very, very strong energy about feeling comfortable asking what you want, and not worrying about if it causes friction, because what's happening in your soul, look at this gorgeous stuff. We are in a 7-soul year about embracing our soul. It's a 7 year that is embracing our soul. And what have you got? Three of Pentacles. Exactly where I led in with this idea that you want some level of stability to play out with how life is moving for you, and you're prepared to have friction in order to ask for what you want. And that is not a common energy for you, is it, Cancer? You're more likely to walk sideways around what you want. You think about how a crab moves, and it moves back and forth sideways, scuttling to keeping its hard shell up so no one can get to the underbelly. And you put the snappers out if you need to protect yourself, but generally speaking, you will move sideways around an issue in order to avoid a confrontation. This energy is a little bit different in as much as, like, you've got some energy, you've got some drive returning to your story, and you want your plans and ideas to come together, and that missing information returns, right? Now, what is the struggle with this? It can bring a little bit of fear and anxiety around. You don't need strength if you don't have a bit of fear and anxiety, and when it's in this struggle position, it's like going, the title of that book is The Courage to Be Disliked. So if you need courage and because you're thinking, if I ask for what I want, the possibility is that I will be disliked. That's like a mortal wound for Cancer. It's like, oh, I really don't want to be disliked. Some star signs roll with being disliked a hell of a lot better than a star sign like a Cancer, because essentially it's a feminine nurturing energy, and we'd much rather be looking after people than thinking that we've caused them hurt or dissension. So the energy, the struggle to go, have a bit of fear and anxiety in drawing on my inner strength, and because I'm asking for stability for my soul space. I'm not afraid to ask the people around me for what I need. And how it's playing out for me, I'll give you a very real example in trying to remedy what's going on in our own family, in going that there's been some conflict, and the number one thing I ask for is actually very, very true to a Cancer's nature. I want everybody to get along, and I'm prepared to cause friction in order to get that, right? If there's somebody in our, because we're a big family, big blended family unit, and there's been, October till now, there's been plenty of disruption that, would threaten to cause disharmony in the family unit. And as the, like, I'm the matriarch pretty much of my family unit, and we have a big crew, and I'm putting my foot down, going, actually, I will have peace, and I'm prepared to cause friction in order to have peace. Do you see what I mean? And it's not normally Cancer's way. Normally they'll scuffle sideways and backwards and forwards and won't take a really, like, strong stand. They won't step forward and go, this is what I require in order for my soul to feel stable and settled. And look, this is what's coming out. Have you had some really disappointing energy? Have you had some things that have been breaking your heart, Cancer? Have you, is your disconnection, like if we're talking in romantic connections, have you got your back turned to your soulmate connection? Are you feeling like there's some energy that's been separating for you? This reading suggested to be strong, have the courage to be disliked in settling your soul in what you want, because the likely outcome is that healing will occur. Now, this is the idea of meditating and getting in touch with the divine, taking peace and tranquility for yourself. But I'm reading it a little bit differently for you this time, in going, it's almost like there's a demanding of tranquility. There's a demanding of peaceful energy of, and we've just been through that full moon, which the energy will still be sort of, dissipating as we go. But it's kind of like going, I will have peace and harmony. I will have Cancerian energy front and center. I want harmony and I want stability in my soul. And when we're looking at this love connection, it's going, I want to have healing over the pain that I've been feeling. I want this, the missing pieces coming back around. You've got this Two Cup energy. If it's been missing from your life, you're going, I really want to do the work that's required to bring stability to my soul space, that brings my connection back around, or it brings healing to my connection. Or if you've been a single Cancer, you want to have a relationship manifest and have some healing take place, and you're prepared to bring on friction in order to have that occur. Let's put another level of energy over the top of that. This is an interesting reading for you, Cancer. Because it's kind of, as much as it's really in alignment with who you are in like wanting that healing, peaceful energy, for you to like cause friction to get it, that's not like you. That's not your traditional energy. So let's have a look at another layer of energy. The Divine Feminine. Righto. Compassion. We've got the third eye chakra. We've got alchemy. We've got discernment. And we've got, as a likely outcome, integration. Interesting. What am I talking about? Divine feminine energy. Like Cancerian energy is a feminine energy, and you really are prepared to bring the full force of your divine feminine energy forward, even if it causes friction, right? And those two terms feel like they're counterintuitive, don't they? It's like going, what divine feminine actually acts in an action-oriented manner in order to, is prepared to provoke in order to get peace. You are under this energy, Cancer, and this doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. It's like this energy is designed to get you into a harmonious state. Sorry if it's a bit bright. I wonder if I turn that away. It's still very, very bright, isn't it, on the screen? But it is a divine feminine energy, and it is, using every tool in the book, because you do show up in this pre-empress energy, right? Which is a divine feminine energy. But it's standing in the strength of your divine feminine energy. It's not the Empress herself who is in full nurture mode. The Empress, there's a different, I don't know, I don't want to say a different harmony, but there's the Nine of Pentacles, to me, has more force about it, has more action orient about it, because you're not sitting in the 10 at the 9. To have the 10 of Pentacles is to have everything that you want. The 9 of Pentacles is sitting in a level of comfortability, sure. It is sitting in divine feminine energy, sure. But she still has work to do. At the 9 of Pentacles, there's still a job to be done. And for mine, the job to be done is to bring harmony into your situation, whether it's in your love connection, whether it's in your broader family, whether it's the people that you work with. You are prepared to fight for what you want now, as long as the outcome is you feel harmonious and you feel settled in what you're doing. Now, compassion is your natural reflection, Cancer. Like, you get to compassion faster than most. And it's really interesting. I've been having such big conversations with my son Matthew. He's 15, but he's such a extraordinary young man, and he sits in Virgo energy. His aspect is Virgo, so he's very much about justice a lot of the time, and but he's looking to go into a career that requires a lot of compassion. And we're working through these energies right now. I feel like these discussions are playing out in our world, and going, sometimes you're going to have to heal people who don't want your help, or that have got themselves into this pickle, and his sense of justice is very, very on point. And it's like you're going to have to draw on compassion as well as practical energy. So kind of what I'm picking up in that discussion I'm having with him is where you're sitting, Cancer, is you're going, I have to be action oriented, and I have to be willing to cause friction with the person that I'm engaged with in order to show my compassion for the situation. So, the example that we were using is, he's interested in becoming a critical care paramedic. And I put the example to him that sometimes, you might come up against someone who has self-inflicted their injuries, like they might have had a drug overdose, or, or have attempted suicide or some level of infliction upon themselves, and they're going to fight against you for the care that you want to bring towards them. And like if he just sits in his practical Virgo energy, it would be like, nah, why would I want to help you when you are being cruel and unkind? You did this to yourself. His sense of justice would almost want to rule out helping someone who's done this to themselves. But where he sits in his beautiful nature is he has massive compassion for that scenario in going, I know the justice in my head says, I know this person did this to themselves, but what I want to figure out is how they got there, why they got there, and what I can do to help them. And it doesn't matter if they push me away in the moment. I'm going to bring the best version of myself forward in order to get the outcome that is most compassionate. So it's kind of like that discussion is really what's showing up in my head in as far as this goes, is there's probably people who you're trying to seek peaceful resolutions with, but you might be getting friction in return, but you're prepared for that friction in order to get the outcome that you want. Why? Because I think you're seeing a broader vision. Third eye chakra and the Three of Pentacles. Now, this is really interesting. It's like when I do twin flame readings, I often look at this card as going, and particularly that it's landed in the soul space Cancer, it's going, it's you, it's your partner, and it's the divine all working together to bring to bring your soul's story to life. And this one is saying over the top is that you're getting very, very clear ideals about what your soul story is right now, and you'll take the action required to live it. This one doesn't feel like it has to dive too deep. Like we're in a 7-year embracing your soul energy. Cancer, you're one of the most intuitive signs in the zodiac. So what your soul is showing you right now, I feel like you have to bring it down from wherever it's sitting, whatever vision you're getting that's showing you what your purpose is, bringing it down into this 3D earth plane. And this year it's singing your soul song. Never more so, Cancer, never more so have you been required to stand up and fight for the compassion that you naturally feel. And here, there's an alchemy. The struggle is real. You have to find strength for this to occur. And for alchemy to truly change, for your life to truly change, that you're able to live your soul song, everything has to be purpose, right? Everything has to be in place. The alchemists of old, they could not transfer lead into gold if they didn't have all of the elements working perfectly. And this is what's happening for you now, Cancer, is going that you're able to use your tough shell. You're using your tough shell to protect your underbelly, but you're also using that underbelly to move you forward. You're using your softness and your compassion and your vulnerability to push you forward into where you're headed. Discernment. This is interesting around this energy because it's going, when I'm looking at that Mars direct in Gemini energy, you're getting the idea of missing pieces coming back into the picture and plans and ideas coming online. So it's going, if you've got somebody returning to the past from the past, or if you've got somebody new moving into your picture, perhaps you've been through some hurts recently. It's trying to understand how it's serving you. Instead of just putting your hard shell on and scuffling sideways, it's going, how can I use what's happening to me in this moment in order to grow, move forward, and push myself into a new version of who I am? I think for some Cancers, this is like, it feels like a past energy to me, like you've already been through these levels of hurt. I mean, it's going to be different for every Cancer, obviously. Like some people are going to be turning their back on someone they just met, or someone's come in and you've decided that they're not the person for you. So you're going to go, well, actually, as lovely as it was to meet you, I'm not able to pour myself into this connection. For some Cancers, maybe you've been in a marriage for 20, 30 years and you just can't figure out how to get along at this moment. And so you're using a strength that your partner's not used to. You're that 5 of what you're prepared to create friction with your partner in order to move yourself into an energy that feels more aligned with the truth of who you are. You are a compassionate, loving soul. And if you're being forced to shut that down, and your partner's going, where does this come from? I'm not used to this, Cancer. Why are you getting up in my grill about all your compassionate energy? Why are you getting up in my grill about like making peace and saying sorry? And like it could be confusing to the person that you've been with for a long time. And it's, trying to get to discernment is trying to get to understanding as to why these things are happening. For some Cancers, it will be that you are going through a breakup or that you are at a distance from someone that you love. It could be that you've had separation from a parent or a family member. This is, soulmates don't have to be a love connection. And I get the feeling, Cancer, you are playing this out on more than one tangent. You are being absolutely discerning with family members, with friends, with lovers, with anyone in your circle right now who's not showing up square is getting your version of discernment, or they're getting a version of disconnection that they're not used to. You're not just going to lay down and play doormat and fix situations when you know a healthy conversation will be able to remedy the situation. Righto. Now, the kicker for this healing to occur is the integration of these ideals. So standing up for yourself and fighting for the truth of what's in your soul. You've had the vision. You want to bring it down to earth. You want the integration of these ideals in order to bring about healing. This one feels like a straightforward message. Let's put our love energy over the top and see what's happening in regards to these love ideals with you standing up for yourself, in order to bring more compassion and more light into your relationships and your scenarios. Let's have a look. What have we got? Very soon. We've got getting to know each other. We've got calling in your soulmate. That's what I'm picking up. We've got playfulness. We've got retreat. And we've got finances and career. This is making like really straightforward sense to me. We are definitely, like, to me, very soon doesn't even mean very soon, it means now. It's clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And I get the feeling, Cancer, you're done with pussyfooting with people. You're done with being run ragged in circles. You're done with push and pull relationships. You're done with people taking advantage of your kind nature. It's not that you don't want to stay in your kind nature. You're just going, don't mess with me. Do not take advantage. Do not push me. Do not cheat. Do not lie. Do not push me to the point where I have to show you my snippers, like little, what are they called? Those pinchers that crabs have. Because that's not who you want to be. You'd much rather run sideways than come at someone with your pincers and say, you know, like, do I have to snap at you? Do I have to snap at you in order for you to take me seriously? And Spirit is going, bring all of that magical, divine, feminine energy and be very, very clear about what you want to occur, because this energy is a now energy. If it's a relationship that you want to bring on board, be prepared to ask for what you want. And this time, don't make the compromises, right? Because what we want is the missing information. All of the things, like all the compromises that you've made in the past, are now missing pieces of information. They're missing pieces of you. Bring it all back together. Your energy and your drive returns. Your plans and ideas come together, and the missing parts of you are being brought back together, and you will fight anyone who's going to try and take them away from you. Now, people are going to have to get to know you again. Right? This strength that you have in your character, people are going to have to get to know you again. Now it says, as your, what does it say? As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Sorry, my eyes are terrible. As you reveal your innermost soul, which is we'll get to in a second, people are going to have to get to know a different version of you. Yes, you still are loaded with compassion. You are not a different person in as much as you have the capacity to heal and grow and nurture and care. You're intuitive and you're beautiful. Cancer, you're beautiful. You stand up in your Knight of Pentacles energy, but you've never had more backbone than what you have right now, and people are going to have to get to know, as much as they've loved the nurturing, caring, beautiful, intuitive side of you, they're going to get to know your backbone as well, and they're going to love you for it. Okay, what we've got in the soul space, you are calling in a soulmate. We have that there. To me, that definitely sort of is what this energy is about, is bringing stability to your world. It's bringing in all the things you want. And we have looked over here that we have had some kind of disconnection, or have had some kind of falling out, moving away, you know, perhaps you've met someone and you know they're just not for you. In turning that person away, you're actually opening the channel to call in the person who's meant for you. You've already had a vision about what that truth is. Now you've just got to bring it down to the earth plane. Calling in your soulmate, your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So stay in that energy of going after what you want and not letting anybody talk you out of what you know to be true. I think at the moment you're having a hard time with the idea, look, it's to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. That's hard at the moment because you're doing soul work, right? I think you're, yeah, as much as you want to bring a light-hearted energy forward, it's kind of like the second that you do, people think, that's it, cancer's not being serious. So I can get back to stomping on your head, cancer. Is that fun? And you're like, no, it's not. It's not fun for me to stomp on your head. I really want to change my situation. I want to transform my situation, and I want my strength to be respected. I don't want to have to, you don't want to have to be resilient forever, but you want people to respect your strength. You want people to know where the boundaries are so that you don't have to continue to be resilient. You want to break that cycle of going, everybody always tells me how strong I am. Well, I want to stop having to show people how strong I am, and I want to be able to enjoy the kindest part of my energy. And if I have to draw a line in the sand with you now and say, this is where you stop forcing me into situations where I have to prove how strong and resilient I am, that's the line in the sand I'm drawing. I'm not mucking around. I'm very, very serious about the fact I want to be lighthearted and fun and joyful and be my true nature without having to be pushed into situations where I have to be resilient. And if need be, I will walk away from you, right? It's time to disconnect from the world. Now, I'm picking this retreat energy up as going, the world is anybody who's causing you disruption. So it could be that you don't want to go out and socialize, for sure, absolutely. It could be that you are the person that you're with, that you want to retreat from them. It could be family members you want to retreat from. My gut feeling is it's anyone who's causing you any kind of disharmony or discomfort right now is going to get a different version of you, Cancer, and you will retreat from anything that is not bringing you health and happiness. You're fighting what's that movie, Bridesmaids, where she goes, fight for your own shitty life. You're fighting for your own shitty life. You want happiness and joy, and people aren't used to getting your pincers. They've definitely met your hard shell, but they're not used to meeting your pincers coming at them. Integration, finances, and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Now, what I'm picking up around here is there's something around this energy that wanted me to call out your finances in your love life. So when I saw that coming out, I was going, this is interesting, because whatever this vision is that's coming towards you in your soulmate energy, we're in a 7 year of embracing our souls. I think you're going to find your purpose. Maybe it is a job change, maybe it's an elevation. I will do one more layer of energy on that, because I'm thinking, you're about to really fall into, you're about to hit your straps. When it first come out, I went, it is about relationships, but it's got something else. And now that we've had this come out, I feel more inclined to speak about it. Whatever vision that you've had, and like your soulmate to me is not just calling in the person that you're meant to love, it's calling in your soul tribe. So whatever you're doing, I think you're about to be surrounded by people that can really help not only your personal life, but your how you're building your, I don't want to say wealth, but I want to say your work structure. This does say finances and career, but I just don't think, as much as I have a really healthy relationship with money, and you should definitely call money in. Money's just an energy, very, very creative force that builds amazing things when it's dealt with properly. But I just get the feeling, Cancer, that you're just going, yeah, great. Thanks for bringing that up, Suze. It's not about the money. I just want to be doing the things I want to do to earn my money, and whatever comes with it, power to it. I think you're going to get more authoritative in letting people know, well, I appreciate you've got that going on in your life, but I'm going to focus on what I need to do to get what I need to do done. And I will be present. I am here for you. I love you. But I am going to put my foot down and say, I need to do this for myself, and I'll check back with you. It's kind of how I'm picking up that energy. Let's just go one more layer. I just want to get one more layer of cards on the top just to wrap this message out. And I know this reading is starting to get long in the tooth, but come on, Cancer, let's just get one more final message on this Mars direct in Gemini energy with missing information returns. What does it look like? All right. What's our first card? An angel over me. Yeah, look, I feel this, that you're being really, really held by the divine. What have we got? Patience. We've got joy. There it is. You just want that in your life, don't you, Cancer? We've got La Natura. Birthing something. Kuan Yin. Yeah, the divine feminine energies come up twice there. And we've got the journey. Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. An angel watches over me. And look, I think this is when I talk about you being one of the most intuitive energies in the zodiac. I don't say it flippantly. It's like it does appear to be, if you've got Cancer in your sign, if you've got it heavy in your chart, it does seem to open up that intuitive gift really significantly. Now, in pushing with the universe pushing you into friction points, it's kind of with the angel over me. It says, like the battles that you're picking, know that spirit is going to give you the right words to say. Know that you're going to be able to lean on your intuition, and they're not going to put you into a battle that is going to destroy you. I just think that if you listen to the angels in your ear and you speak when you're meant to speak, it'll be them speaking with you, helping you bring your scenario into fruition. Now, patience is interesting because I actually feel like you've run out of patience. I think you've run out of patience for people. So it's really interesting that the card patience has come around. Shall we read it? It says you are entering a time of great love and peace. Be patient and allow the current storm to clear. A resurrection, no more wounds, and only love is predicted. See, look, that's kind of more. I'm glad I read the back of it because I'm looking at it and I would have, if I just sat on the surface of that, I go, oh, Cancer, you need to have patience. Your scenario is changing. Bollocks. Your scenario is here. A time of great love and peace is predicted. The current storm is clearing, right? Resurrection is predicted. No more wounds and only love is predicted because that's where you're at. That's what you're fighting for. Your manifestations are actually having an effect now. It's like I think in the past you might have scuffled around the things that you want and you spoke of it but you didn't have conviction or you didn't take action. This is now saying that time that you've manifested the love and the peace, and I don't know how many times I've said it in this reading, you just want peace. Whether it's the person that you're with, whether it's the family, the friends, the work colleagues, whatever, you just want peace. So allow this storm to settle because resurrection is here. No more wounds and only love is predicted. So if you are waiting on a lover to return, the time is upon you. If you've just met somebody and you need that connection to fall away, it's because the right connection is coming through. If you've been in family wounds and you've been fighting for a time of peace, now is the time to stand up for yourself in those scenarios because the universe, you have an angel walking with you in order to bring peace to the scenario. I love this. Joy in the soul. This is where I started this and this is where I'll wrap it back around to. This is what you want. You just want to feel a level of peace. You don't want to be in conflict with people consistently. And what you've realized is that scuffling back and forward sideways has not got you what you want. But now is the time where you open your mouth and you speak and you stand up for the things that bring you peace in your soul. When you do that, not only are you calling in a soulmate, you're bringing through your life's work, your visions are clear, and joy in the soul in what is a 7-year. The struggle is to birth it, right? This is a card of birthing as I understand it. Yep, you will give birth to something new. So the struggle is to actually get it across the line, and you do have patience there, but I fear not. It is, there had to be a struggle in this reading, right? I put the challenge card exists for a reason. If there's a challenge, the challenge is to birth it. And Spirit has already said that you will still have friction points in doing what you're doing. But I just feel like the time is now. I don't feel like I'm saying in 12 months' time, Cancer, you're going to be much happier. I'm saying nope. You're demanding it of your universe now, and that's because an angel is whispering in your ear and telling you to stand up for the things that bring joy to the soul. Again, if we go, an angel is whispering in your ear. Here we have Kuan Yin. You've drawn the Divine Feminine card over here as well. Kuan Yin, when I see Kuan Yin come through, I'm like, to me, she represents the Divine Feminine collective. So, and Cancer, you are very, very aligned with that energy, that nurturing, loving. I could even call it Empress energy. That truly sitting in your that feminine, intuitive, loving, caring, compassionate nature. So whatever you're going through with this energy right now, know that the Divine Feminine collective, the angels that sit on high, are walking through it with you. And if you continue to listen to their guidance and their wisdom, they will bring you into your blessings and into your joy. And even even if it causes friction at times. Trust that you're being led in the right direction, because the likely outcome, look at this, it's the journey. Now, to me, when I see a rainbow, it is the end of the flooding. So all of this big emotional process that you've been through, part of wrapping up the journey is standing up for yourself and everything that you've learned, everything that you know to be true, and really, really standing on everything that the divine has built as the scaffolding for you. When you do that, when you live the journey of the positive and the negative, and you use every inch of your divine capacity in building the life that you want to build, the divine promises a rainbow, and the promise of the rainbow is that he will not flood your world again. There'll still be trials, there'll still be challenges for sure, but along the journey, the promise is that with the rainbow, that he will never flood your world again. So where you've been, right, if you continue to listen to the divine and you continue to apply your lessons and move your journey forward, the divine will not flood your world again. And that's a beautiful promise to have, Cancer. And on that note, I'm going to wrap up this reading and say, in faith, hope, and love, it's bye from me for now.